SpongeBob has always pushed boundaries, but these jokes crossed lines that shouldn't exist on a kids' show. SpongeBob jokes made it to air, slipped past censors, and stayed hidden in plain sight for years. Jokes parents didn't catch, jokes kids didn't understand, until they grew up and rewatched the show. And when they did, they couldn't believe what Nickelodeon got away with. SpongeBob SquarePants premiered in 1999, and from the very beginning, the writers knew their audience wasn't just kids. Parents were watching, college students were watching, adults who grew up on Nickelodeon were watching. So the show operated on two levels: surface-level humor for kids, silly faces, pratfalls, catchphrases, and underneath that, jokes aimed squarely at adults, innuendo, dark humor, references that flew way over kids' heads. Most of the time, it was harmless. Clever wordplay.
Successful, in fact.
Oh, honey, this would the couch in the living room.
We'll take it.
Isn't that funny? Gotta go back to school.
Who cares
soon.
about art?
This is
Time to
gonna
help me
kick
take over the
somebody's
world!
butt.
Now what happened to the front door?
Subtle visual gags. The kind of stuff that makes you appreciate the show more as an adult. But some jokes didn't just push the envelope, they tore it wide open, and once you notice them, you can't unsee them. Let's start with the most infamous one. Sailor Mouth, Season 2, Episode 18. The entire episode is about SpongeBob and Patrick learning a bad word and using it constantly, not realizing it's a swear. Every time they say it, the audio is bleeped out with a dolphin sound effect.
That word.
Here's the thing. The dolphin noise isn't random. The writers timed it perfectly to match the rhythm and length of actual curse words.
Hello, Patrick. Lovely day we're having, isn't it?
This day is particularly lovely.
When SpongeBob stubs his toe and yells the bleeped word, it's clearly meant to be the F word. The cadence matches, the context matches, the anger in his voice matches. At one point, SpongeBob goes on an entire rant, and it's just 13 dolphin sounds in a row. If you replace those sounds with actual profanity, it's a perfectly structured, explicit tirade. Kids heard funny dolphin noises, adults heard SpongeBob dropping F-bombs, but it gets worse.
Right you are, Patrick. Ooh, you're right, Patrick. My lips are tingling from the spiciness of this conversation.
Yeah, mine too.
In SpongeBob, You're Fired. Season 9, Episode 11. There's a scene where SpongeBob is applying for jobs at other restaurants. He walks into a place called Weenie Hut. The camera lingers on the menu, and if you pause at just the right moment, you can see one of the items listed. It says, foot long, and the price? $2 with cheese. On its own, innocent. But the framing, the context, the fact that it's at a restaurant called Weenie Hut, it's not subtle. Then there's Wet Painters, Season 3. Episode 10, Mr. Krabs hires SpongeBob and Patrick to paint his house, but he warns them not to get a single drop of paint on anything else, especially his first dollar. At the end of the episode, they think they've ruined the dollar. Mr. Krabs finds out and licks the paint off to prove it's just water-based. The scene itself is fine, but the sound design, the slurping, the groaning, the way Mr. Krabs' tongue moves across the bill in extreme close-up, it's deliberately uncomfortable. It sounds like something completely different, and the animators knew exactly what they were doing. Here's the wild part. Most of these jokes were approved. A Nickelodeon Standards and Practices team reviewed every script, every storyboard, every finished episode, and they let these moments through. Why? Because technically, nothing explicit was shown. No actual swearing, no overt sexual content, just implications, suggestions, plausible deniability. Sailor Mouth became so iconic that it's still one of the most quoted SpongeBob episodes ever. Nickelodeon never pulled it. They aired it for years. But the network did start cracking down in later seasons. Jokes that would have sailed through in seasons 1 through 3 started getting cut. Storylines got sanitized. The edge that made early SpongeBob so beloved started disappearing. Some fans think this is why the show's quality dropped after the first movie. The writers were reined in. The jokes got safer, and Nickelodeon never publicly addressed why. They just quietly started cutting content that pushed too far. Today, these episodes are still out there. Sailor Mouth airs in reruns. It's on Paramount Plus. It's in DVD collections. But the conversation around them has changed. Fans who grew up watching SpongeBob started dissecting old episodes frame by frame. Reddit threads exploded. YouTube compilations with titles like "Dirty Jokes You Missed as a Kid" racked up millions of views. People started asking, how did Nickelodeon let this happen? And the answer is complicated. Some argue it was brilliant writing. Jokes that worked on multiple levels without being inappropriate. Others say it was irresponsible to sneak adult content into a show marketed to children. The debate continues, but one thing is clear. SpongeBob's writers knew their audience better than anyone realized, and they got away with a lot. SpongeBob isn't unique in hiding adult jokes in kids' media. Rocko's Modern Life, Animaniacs, the Powerpuff Girls. Tons of cartoons from the 90s and early 2000s were packed with innuendo. But SpongeBob was different because of its scale. It was the biggest kids' show on the planet. It still is, and those hidden jokes, they became part of the show's legacy. They're the reason adults still watch SpongeBob. They're why the memes never die. They're why the early seasons are considered untouchable classics. But they're also a reminder. Not every joke ages well. Not every boundary should be pushed. And sometimes, the line between clever and inappropriate is thinner than we think. These SpongeBob jokes went too far. But they're not the only controversial moments hidden in the show. There are entire episodes that pushed boundaries in ways you wouldn't believe.